Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I want to tell you a little bit about weird and at the same time funny Russian habits that foreigners usually don't understand, but I will try to explain them to you and you will see why Russians do things this way. The first weird habit that Russians do is that we almost never go to doctors when we are sick. The thing is that in Russia you have a right to go to a pharmacy and to buy many pills without a permission of your doctor. That's why the first thing Russian person does when he or she is sick is to try to surf the internet and find out what kind of disease you have. Or either way, we call our friends, our family, and we try to take advice from them and understand what kind of pills should we take or what kind of treatment should we do. And doctors are probably last people we are gonna go to when we are sick. It happens only if situation is very serious and we really don't feel well and cannot do anything about it. In this case, of course, we will go to a doctor. But if it's like a light flu or something like this, we will take the treatment ourselves. Second Russian habit that Russian people have is probably known from everybody in the world. Russian people don't smile very often to strangers. So it's not like we don't smile at all, but we usually don't smile to people we don't know well. We don't have such kind of a habit because smile is something more private and something we will give to a person we know well and we like. We're not gonna ever smile to anyone we don't know or we don't like. But there is a plus in this situation too, because when you see a Russian person smiling to you, you can always be sure that this person likes you and it makes things easier. Third Russian habit is that there is such a rule in our Russian society that anyone should have a higher education. So it's basically that everyone should go to university and get a bachelor degree there. Even though many Russian people go to university and don't really enjoy the major they are doing, they still will get this higher education, even if after some time it is not gonna be the area they will be working in. But you know guys, it has sense because even if you want to do some kind of a very easy job here in Russia, they will still ask if you have a bachelor degree. And you won't be able even to do some kind of an easy job if you don't have that. Next thing which is unique about Russian people is how are you questioned. In such places like Europe, USA and Canada, people usually ask this question even strangers, but just to be more polite. And in Russia, if you ask a stranger this question and the stranger is not doing well, he will tell you everything about his situation. Of course, I cannot say that every Russian person will tell you about his problems, but in general, Russian people are very open, and if they are really not doing well, they are gonna tell you everything about this situation, how they feel, and etc. Okay guys, there is one more Russian habit that many Russian people do, but I honestly don't know where it comes from. But I do it myself and I don't know why. There are such cases when you have to leave your home for some kind of decent amount of time. Like you're going for a vacation or you're visiting your friends in another city. And just before leaving our apartment or our home for some kind of decent amount of time, we always have to sit before the road. That's how we call it. And this means that before leaving, you have to sit on something and wait for 1 minute. So it's like you sit on the bed, on the couch, on the chair, wherever, but you sit there for 1 minute, and only after this ritual you can leave your house and be sure that everything is gonna be fine. And if you don't do that, you will feel like you didn't do something significant before leaving home. Even though it's some kind of a silly thing, but I personally myself won't leave a house for many days if I don't do this thing. I just won't feel safe and secure, and I don't know why, but I will better do that than don't do that. Even though it's kind of silly and we all understand that it doesn't give you any guarantee if you sit on a chair or on a bed before leaving your house, it still feels much better if you do that than if you don't. But if you closed the door to your house and then you realize that you forgot something at your home and you have to come back, you must look at the mirror before closing the door again. If you did this thing, then you can leave your home and do your things without any fear. But if you didn't do that, you will still feel like you forgot to do something. So these are pretty much all Russian habits I wanted to tell you about today. Video is absolutely my personal experience and things I have noticed. They also can be wrong, and if I said something about Russian people, of course it doesn't mean that completely all Russian people do that. But I still can say that many of them do that. And there is nothing wrong, and it's just funny and nice that people do things this way. Give this video a like and subscribe to this channel if you liked Russian habits I told you about today. Also, leave a feedback and tell me more about habits you know about Russian people yourself, or if you agree with what I said in my video, or if you don't. I will be very happy to read all your comments.